So most apparel and D2C brands completely burn their margins when it comes to drop days or when a big sale goes live. And this isn't because their product sucks, but rather because they're sending cold traffic to a live collection or product page without building a segmented pre-launch backend first. And so if your launch strategy is just to run Instagram stories and then turn on paid ads the day your drop goes live, like, you are guaranteed to bleed cash. Look at this architecture. This is what you really need. And I know not everyone watching here runs a clothing brand or a clothing line, but this mistake is egregious in that space. And you just have this lazy, basic subscribe to be notified now or sign up for the newsletter to be the first to know when we launch, right? These don't work, and I'll tell you why. This causes you to fully rely on your existing social media. You cannot run ads for this, and you cannot scale this because unless someone is a hyper fan of your brand, they have no context who you are. So you tease a drop for a month, maybe 2 months. You send people to a standard basic sign up to get early access. And then when the drop goes live, you blast your entire unsegmented list with information. And so what happens is your email rates drop because nobody knows who you are. Your SMS gets flagged for spam because they don't remember opting in. And you face a massive cash flow problem because you haven't got enough bought-in customers the day your drop goes live. So if you do drops or if you run big seasonal sales for your brand, you need to have revenue architecture in place in order to grow. And what I'm talking about is a pre-drop funnel that flows seamlessly into a live drop or post-drop funnel. And so in this video, I'm going to lay out the exact blueprint that you need in order to launch and launch better. And so at a very high level, we'll cover your pre-sale or your pre-drop funnel, your post-live funnel, and 7-figure architecture so you can actually build a brand instead of just surviving from drop to drop. Let's get into the mirror board. To start off, you either need to be running a massive sale or some sort of product launch or a drop. Just as a disclaimer, like, this is based on the exact thing I'm doing for a client. He's doing a buy one, get one in order to celebrate the start of summer. He runs a gym brand. And this is the exact thing we are running right now. And it's crushing. I just turned on ads this morning and we already have so many opt-ins. So it's great. We're going to break down the pre-drop funnel into kind of 3 steps. And so organically, or if you have affiliates, if that's your thing, you need to be posting at least a week in advance, if not 14 days, if not a month, right? One thing that we really stressed is that your top performing affiliates need to create content. They should be using this for organic, but we also want to be using this on our paid ad side. And that leads into our lead ads, right? And just as a note, like, you should be posting about your drop. Ideally, it'd be every day. If not, that's okay, every other day. But you need to get the engine turning, right? You need to get eyeballs in order to get people to opt in and to buy. To get that to turn faster, right? To get out of your existing ecosystem of current followers, we really like lead ads. And so this will route to an email and SMS capture form. I'll get to this in a second. And same thing, the ad should be running 1 to 2 weeks. You know, if we started teasing with the organic and affiliates up to 30 days in advance, these should be 2 weeks before. If we start them too early, people will kind of forget who we are. If we start them too late, there's not enough time to build hype. And so the thing here is I want you to be using your best performing organic content. If it's someone, you know, one of your affiliates posts some UGC, you should be running that as an ad if it does well. If you posted just an image or a carousel of just different ways your models are wearing your clothes or of your different products, if it does well, run it as an ad. And so based on your budget, right, obviously the higher budget you have, the more you can do, but this is just kind of our frame of reference as we run lead ads. 50 to 75% of the budget is going to videos, or rather 50 to 75% of the creatives we're using are videos. 10% to 25% are static images, and another 10 to 25% are carousel. And so this just gives different options for Meta to test and for people to see. You're looking for like a frequency below 2, below 3. and a CPM of about $10 to $20, and that is golden. And as just a note, I know some people don't have money to run ads, and that's okay, right? If you don't have a budget for ads, leverage your organic more and automate your responses. And what I mean by this is, I often see giveaways being run, but I don't see them being optimized. And when you run a giveaway, what I want you to do is actually do the giveaway, make sure one person wins it, announce that, but go back to everybody else who entered, because they're going to tag a friend, they're going to comment, they're going to DM you, right? And just say like, hey, sorry you didn't win, but here's our link. We're going to give you a special 15% off on drop day or when our sale goes live or whatever. We're going to give you early access to our sale because you were like a loyal follower, because you actually wanted this. And so that way you actually get more people to your site and you remind them. You can use ManyChat as a way to automate this, or you can send them to a landing page that goes to your traditional like Klaviyo or OmniSend type setup, but this is how you can get more eyeballs and more organic shares without paying money. But again, you have to message these people, you have to tell them, hey, they didn't win, sorry, that sucks. But because you entered, you actually got this special code for a drop once it goes live. And so these, our organic and our lead ads all go to one specific landing page. And so I've kind of mapped it out and then given an example. We have a hero header, we have a embedded form, so whether OmniSend or Klaviyo, this is where you actually capture the lead data. You have collections to show off your different products and tell people like, hey, check it out. And if available, you want to show reviews and social proof. And so any reviews, if they have images, the better. And so let me just zoom in and show you how this is broken down. So this is, let me make it a little bit bigger, if that works. But this is the exact landing page I'm running for my client. So it has the day, June 1st, 12 p.m. CST, that's when it goes live. Buy one, get one on all women's items goes live. Your gym aesthetic, blah, 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 blah. Just a quick little hero image and a caption talking about what the page is about. We want this early so that when someone clicks our ad or clicks our organic content, it sends them here and they know like, hey, okay, this is what we're about. This doesn't really show up well, but there is an image here that shows someone wearing the product, and then it's an email and phone number capture. You need to have, if you're sending SMS, a double opt-in, and they have to check this box in order to get text messages, right? So this is super important. Make sure this is filled in, and then you have a opt-in language at the bottom. Like you can see your privacy policy in terms of condition. And once they click early access, it says a thank you, and then sends them an email and SMS. We'll get to that in a second, but I just want to talk about the rest of the page. And so the rest of the page, this shows the different products that we have on sale. And so, it's a gym brand. We're doing a women's promotion. So it shows the different lifestyle images and people in the brand. And here it says view details. And we're just saying like, hey, preview the gear that's going to be on sale. So you can mix and match. You can plan your pairs. You can get thought before it goes live of what you're going to. Right. We just want to show people the product. We just want to show people what we're about. And then down at the bottom, these are different just reviews and testimonials of people wearing it. I think I even had the same person twice because she left 2 reviews. But like, we just want to show the product being worn. We just want to show it like we're actually quality. People like us, people wear us, different people showing off the product. And as a couple other notes, there are no other pop-ups. Normally I do a lot of revenue architecture, so just personalized ways to get in people's attention, to sell them things that they actually want, not just everything on your catalog. But to do that, we have capture forms that get their email, SMS, stuff like that, right? Their gender in this case. We have no other pop-ups on this page because this is a landing page dedicated to this one. And if you have other pop-ups, people are going to sign up for that. It's going to be confusing. They're not going to be like, they're like, hey, I thought I signed up for this early access thing, but did I not? Just don't do that. So have one dedicated sign up and it's right here. Great. So this is your landing page. You can build this in Shopify. I built it in a page, super easy. It'll take you a little bit just to get it all right, just to get the images that you want. But you need something like this. You want something pretty. Because if you use the traditional meta lead forms, they have their own thing. They're not branded. They look awful. People don't know who you are. People forget they signed up. So it's always better to have a landing page and just spend the extra effort to make it look pretty. Especially, if you're doing a clothing drop, especially if you're running a big sale, just don't do this, please. All right, so let's get into it. So once someone signs up, right away, they get 2 things. They get an SMS, which is just like, hey, you're locked in. Our sale goes live on June 1st or whenever your sale goes up at this time. Inventory will go fast, so just plan your pairs in advance. In our email that we send them, I don't think I have a screenshot here, but in our email, it has a big hero saying, hey, welcome to the brand. We're so excited for this. Stuff is going to go quick. We have a big timer that's counting down. Let me see if I can actually show it. Hang on one second. Cool. So just a quick thing, right? This is the text message. It just says you're on the list, your early access to our similar BOGO. And then it has an opt-out. This is really important. You need to have it on the first one. Just keep it. It's worth it. And then that goes to a email where it says you're on the list June 1st. On June 1st, 12 p.m., we're officially dropping our summer BOGO. No gatekeeping, blah, 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 blah. And then we have a countdown timer. This is just hard-coded in. I used Sendtrick. So that's sendtric.com. You can do this for free. You get like, I think, 1,000 or 10,000 impressions. It's great. And then plan your pairs. We have the different products, shop now, and then just a little bit more about us. So very simple, very straightforward, just telling people what we're about, showing the product, sending them to our site so they can start shopping ahead of it. Okay, so that's kind of our pre-drop funnel, but we're getting into our live drop funnel now. Going into our live drop, we're going to have a launch campaign. And so this is revenue architecture. It's email, SMS, but done very personalized as always. And so our first email is going to go out 48 hours before the drop. And this goes out to all your email subscribers, not just the ones that sign up via the lead ads, right? And so what we're saying in this email is like, hey, we have this cool sale coming up. Our buy one, get one is going live, or our drop is going live, right? Just to get people in people's head, we're saying the time, we're saying like, hey, this will go fast. Inventory will go fast. And so make sure you lock in and get ready. SMS 1 goes live 2 hours before the drop. And because this is a gym brand, a lot of the audience is a little bit younger. And so we want to walk a fine line. We don't want to spam people, but we want to make sure they know about what's happening. And so we're sending an SMS 2 hours before. And we're just saying like, hey, 2 hours, this is your 2 hour notice. Things are going to go fast. Get ready. And finally, we go live on launch. And so at the exact time that the offer goes live, we're now sending a text. I included an image here just to show people the product a little bit more and just say like, yo, we're live now. Go check it out. Stuff is going to move fast. So for our specific campaign, we're running it over the 4 days. So from June 1st to June 4th. And so what we're doing is an email 24 hours before it ends saying like, hey, this sale has been awesome. We still have a little bit of stock in our main performers or in our main products, our shorts and our camis. If you want stuff, this is kind of your last chance to get our buy one get to celebrate the start of summer. And finally, this SMS gets sent out 12 hours before the campaign ends. And we just say like, hey, thanks so much. This is your last call to get items before the sale goes away. And so as a specific note, I need to recolor these because we are only sending these emails and SMS to people who have not bought within the last 4 days or however long your sale goes, right? Again, we don't want someone to have a really bad experience where, they get all this content, they get these emails, they get this SMS, they buy something, and then they're reminded like, hey, go buy something. Yes, there is an argument that, they might want to buy more things. That is true, but it's just not worth it. It's just not worth annoying your customers. And so we don't do. And so that's the first launch campaign. That's the stuff that we can handle. At the same time, we're running paid ads. And so we're routing directly to the collections page or the product page or the sale page, whatever you're doing. We are specifically excluding any purchasers within the last 24 hours. So anybody, who's bought from these other campaigns or just from your organic stuff, we don't want to market to again. We don't want to be annoying. And so we're excluding anybody who purchases within 24 hours. And finally, from your lead ads, because we're testing all these different formats, we're testing this creative, we're seeing what works well. We already have data. Why reinvent the wheel? And so take your best performing angles, your hooks, your content, your static images, your carousels that are doing well, and run those as now paid ads, as shop ads, as buy now ads. And so just as a heads up, if you're like, I've never run ads before, I have no idea what I'm doing, you can just use this as a framework where we can use CBO or ABO. ABO is basically we're just testing within the ad set, so we're giving everything the same amount of spend in order to find a winner. CBO is like, hey, we're just giving it all the meta. It'll just distribute spend at the campaign level and choose which ad is best. And typically, if your budget isn't very high, CBO does better. But if you have a longer runway, I would do ABO to find your winning ads and go. And hey, really quick, if you are like, hey, this sounds great, I want to do this, but I have no idea how to start, or it's overwhelming and I want someone to walk me through this. My name's Nathan. I run Hoshino Media. We help brands and creators scale and monetize monetize our audiences. And so we do revenue architecture, we do paid ads, we do Shopify stores. And so if you're interested at all, you can click the link below and book a call with me or my team. And so this is the blueprint for your drop day funnel. And so all of this will get you traffic and customers to your site. But I promised one more thing, and I wanted to actually touch on 7-figure revenue architecture. And besides the trap earlier of having these like super basic sign up forms and drop day forms or sale forms or whatever, the other thing I see is that brands are really surviving drop to drop. They're using that hype beast, that supreme model of like, once it's in stock, it's only in stock once and it'll go away forever. I think that's a cool way to monetize, but I think it's a bad way to build a brand long term, because you don't want to have months where you have $70,000 in sales and then the next month you have nothing. And then the next month you have nothing. And then the fourth month, then you have another 50,000. You're living drop to drop. I don't think that's a good way to survive. If you actually want to build a business, if you actually want to build a brand that outlives you and your reach, you need to have product in stock. And so what I want you to do after you post drop, you should be upselling them. If they buy from you, you should be emailing them afterwards and say, hey, thanks so much. We're so glad you're a part of our community. We're so glad you're a part of our brand. Here's an extra 10-15% off on your next order, just as a thank you. You should be sending people founder stories saying like, hey, my name is Mike or my name is Sally, and I built this brand out of my garage because I thought that I wanted people to have really cool, cute clothing that they could wear to the beach. Or because I made jewelry with my mom growing up and it's just something I love to do, right? You need to be telling people more about your brand in order to get them to form an emotional attachment to you. And we're not manipulating people here, right? That's not what we're doing, but we're telling a story that people go like, wow, I want to be a part of this. I like this. This brand stands for what I value. And as a result, I'm attached. And from there, we should be doing UGC. So asking people for content once they buy, like, hey, you bought this thing. What did you think? Please leave a review. Or, we'll post if you make content on it. Like, let us know. We want to help you grow too. Or community building, right? Whether it's an offline community or an online community, you should be getting people into the folds of your brand to help build your basis so that the next time you walk through this process of doing a drop day, it takes less effort. It takes less ads. It takes less money because you already have a bigger subscriber basis, right? Like I know some brands that they skip all of this stuff and just run their drop just to the back, right? Just to their people who already know them because they did such a good job of upselling, of community building, of building a brand, building a founder story. Right. And so here's the full blueprint. I think I'll link it below. If you want it, you'll just click the link below. You'll fill out some more information and I'll just send it to you. But that said, again, if you want help doing all this, book a call with me on my team. So with that all said, I hope this is helpful so that you can crush your next drop. No more of this silly, lazy sign up for early access stuff. Do it right, build a brand worth owning, and the sky's the limit. Peace.